Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Thursday, the 6th of December 2018. US markets closed yesterday as George H. Bush funeral took place in Washington, D.C., but overnight the news has really kicked off. Futures down 600 on the Dow. We'll look at it in just a minute. And the reason for this is China are outraged at arrest of Huawei. CFO warns it will take all measures. So apparently there's been two individuals that have been arrested on, obviously potential spying charges, and they're looking to be extradited to the US and Canada. And of course, it isn't, as it says here, so much for a trade war truce between China and the US, or a stock market rally for that matter. And you'll see here, this is the reason why prices dropped 600 on the overnight. So they've traded lower than this as well, or back down to the lows, I should say, and now we're starting to move back to the upside. When you see this in the daily chart, you can see we managed to get back above the 200 bar moving average yesterday on the electronic system, but as soon as the market kicked off today, we headed straight down to the 76% retracement from this low to this high. You will see we're at that level now. Again, no surprise we're down at that level, frankly, and this is not boding well. This is going to be the first time, I think, in 10 years that if it doesn't turn around and move higher, that the US market actually finished lower with no gains. So let's wait and see what happens. At the moment, there's no selling. It's just being marked down, as you can see. So it's going to be an interesting day for the Dow there. So watch the news. You'll see that the mainstream news really aren't reporting it. This is to search a bit on the world news to find this. Home news, obviously, is Brexit. But there's nothing until you get down to here about this news. And they're talking about the spying charges. Obviously, it's mainstream media. They have to make sure that it whips everybody up into fear and so on and so forth. Fear drives the news and negativity. And unfortunately, a lot of people take it on board as well. Whereas at least with Zero Hedge, they're reporting more of the facts and the details behind why there is the potential for an extradition to the US there. So in the pound yesterday, the market managing a bit of a rally. We got a 76% retracement there. We had the buy signal. The market hit a barrier at the 200 bar moving average, then drove through. It came back on low volume. Selling disappeared. Market was free to move higher. And then the selling came back in here. Bit of a retracement there, about a 38%. And then the market lower again, another retracement there, and then it's just become sideways. And no real effect to the news on the currency. The dollar hasn't plunged and the pound rallied. This just finding a bit of support there, but still weak overall when you look at the daily chart. And there's a good chance of the lows being tested at 126.61 for this market. News for today, OPEC meeting, another criminal outfit, that's at 9:15. Non-manufacturing ISM there. I see crude oil inventories has now been downgraded to a medium impact news item. I spoke about that for months. And then Powell's out at 11:45 p.m. So he's obviously talking about, so he might be somewhere else in the world if he's out at that time of night. Normally he wouldn't be. Nothing official in the US on that one, so he must be abroad somewhere. And then I say he's speaking at 11:45. See what damage he can do to the markets. On this occasion, after he failed to keep the market up last week with these dovish comments about the interest rate increase cycle coming towards an end, which is bizarre given that they're only at around 2.5%. Shows you how difficult it is for them to actually raise rates over there. And meanwhile, in Bitcoin, this bouncing off the 76% retracement, we've spoken about this all week. could we start to see this happen in this market, where to come back and retest this level? The market's done this, and it's bounced off it on the overnight, which I think this is actually not quite coincided with the futures dropping. Let's just have a look and see what time that actually occurred. I think that was not too far off when the market opened. Oh, actually, 23. It's 11 p.m. and this is a lot later. This comes in at 5 a.m. We've just seen somebody come in and buy this market and send it straight back up to the 200 bar moving average. Yesterday the market struggling with this level, as you can see there. Very good area for shorting off the 200 bar moving average at the moment in this market, with it still being slightly bearish. It will need to drive through here if prices are to move higher. Okay, that's a quick roundup after yesterday's market close in the US. Let's see how things pan out with this Chinese alleged espionage and selling equipment that can spy on the West, and see what happens with the Brexit as far as the pound's concerned as well, and whether that the Bitcoin market will actually manage to get back above 4,000 during today's session as well. That's it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.